Welcome back, everybody. It's Jonstealth here, and today we're going to go over skill aptitude explained. So basically what they're meaning is that you can see right here, there's basically chests for this new thing that they're bringing out, which is probably coming out this week or next week, and it's called the aptitude. And what aptitude is that once you reach 200, you can see right here, level 200, there will be basically like this ring, and it'll have like 3 dots, and every time you hit a ring, you get a certain chest, right? So basically like a way of rewarding people for crafting or gathering or refining. So we're gonna go through every single one of these. These are pretty big things to for New World, and it's really good way of like just getting certain types of items. You get legendaries, you get some really good recipes, you get some good schematics, you get good armor smithing, weapon patterns and stuff like that. You get all this stuff, and you get timeless shards as well. So it's like, oh, it's a lot. So it's really good. So yeah, there's a few things I'm just gonna skim over, especially for fishing and like anything with harvesting or gathering, just because they just drop nothing really. But the other hardworking professions like arcana and armor smithing, they drop some really good stuff. So let's get into it. And this kind of shows you how much experience you kind of need to hit each of these tiers. So each tier gives you a chest. Tier 1 gives you a green chest, blue chest is tier 2, and tier 3 is a purple chest, right? So that's how much experience you need for each of these tiers. As you can see, I'm not too sure if these tiers are like, if this is just the first ring around or if it's just like for all the rings, right? So I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure like when you hit tier 2 should get a little bit harder or something like that. We'll have to see, right? But anyways, we're gonna open all of these chests and to show you guys what you get through each of these chests. So let's open all of these. So the first chest, the tier 1 chest, let's go see what it gives. And right now it gives us like Asmodium, Glitter, Runic, and Phoenix. So those are pretty nice to have because these are cooldowns and you get anywhere from 2 to 5. And then you get Timeless Shards as well, which is really nice. So you get your Void, Ice, Fire, and Life Staff. And then you get Suspended Azon. As well as that you get all of these crafting mods as well, which are okay. They're not the craziest. And then you also get a little bit of the Wisp as well. So that's the first tier, which is not too bad. It's just fairly decent. This is the second tier, same stuff, but then you start getting the blue stuff for the essence, and that's pretty much all you're going to be getting. And that's for that tier. And the tier 3 is the really good stuff. So you get the patterns now. So you get all of these patterns, and you also like get these other patterns. So yeah, you get all of these patterns for your guy to make, and that's really nice. So these are 600 level gear score. So that's something to really look forward to. You know, if you guys are just like struggling to get any patterns that you like, this is a pretty good method of actually getting some patterns. So mind you, they're legendaries, they're fairly decent. So yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to just from crafting and making stuff. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then the same you get with the same cooldown stuff, and then you also get the fire and the earthquake essence and all the other ones as well. So that's pretty neat. You get all of these, this type of loot, chance to get any of these loots, and that's pretty beneficial, right? So those legendaries are really nice, you know, and yeah, it just makes crafting a whole lot better and more interesting and actually kind of fun and a little bit challenging. So that's kind of nice. This is the first tier for armoring, which is actually a pretty good profession. So you get, of course, your cooldowns, and then you get your shards, quite a few different shards to craft. And then you get your Azoth, and then again, you get all of your crafting mods. So that's the first tier. This is the second tier. Same thing, pretty much. Yeah, you pretty much just get the same thing for the tier 2. And now we're on the tier 3, and we get the good stuff. The tier 3 drops all your legendary goodies right there. So there's a lot. And so, you know what? This makes it really good. I think that's a 1 perk that you can pick. So not the greatest. Like, it would be nice to have the 3 ticks, but yeah, you know what? It's free stuff, so it's always good to get right for the legendaries. This is a second perk right there. So yeah, you get some of them. 2. Yeah, so you get some of those legendary items, which are really, really nice. So, and then you get this as well. I'm not too sure if this changed a little bit. You can see the 2 tickers right there. So I'm not too sure if that's the same as the first one. Let's go see. Yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, so that's the tier 3. And yeah, you get some really good items. So that's that. Cooking is pretty self-explanatory, but they do get some good stuff later on as well. So let's go check the first tier. Pretty much all your normal ingredients that you get. The tier 2, let's click on the rarity. You just pretty much get any of the blues items. So, and then you get a little bit of the green stuff as well, which are very, very easy to farm. And then normal ingredients again. And here comes some really good stuff. So when you're doing this, we get the same tier, like the same blue stuff, but now, and same as this, but now you also get recipes. So this is really cool. So now things are specifically for your craft, whatever you're crafting, you get items for whatever you're crafting for recipes or schematics, which is really, really nice. So yeah, like you get all of these recipes that you guys want, and it's a ton, so yeah, it's a good way of leveling up. So highly recommend. Oh, you also get dyes too, so that's something new. You also get dyes, so that's, if you guys want some dyes, that's a pretty good method of doing it. But yeah, really good stuff. You definitely can make some gold of like reselling those cooking recipes on the trading post. I like cooking because you can craft some stuff for very, very dirt cheap, and get your experience really high, and then you can get one of those recipes and sell that, and then make all your gold back pretty quickly. So that's really, really good. I like that a lot. And now we are going on to engineering. So this is the first tier. You get your cooldowns, you get your timeless shards, which are quite good. Hatchet, bow, musket, and spear. And then you get your Azoth, and then your crafting mods. And there's the first tier. The second tier, pretty much exactly the exact same thing. You just get a little bit more quantities. And then the third tier, you get some really good stuff. So the tier 3, you get your legendary patterns. So you get all the wonderful legendary patterns. So it's really, really good. So yeah, like for me, like right now, I like to play spear and bow and hatchet. Like those are like kind of like my favorite. I don't mind musket, but I don't play it as much. But like I like these 3 a lot. So I'm definitely going to be using leveling up some engineering, and then you get your shards again. So yeah, you get some pretty good stuff. So really good time to be leveling up stuff. Fishing, I'm just going to go into the first tier because the first tier drops exactly the same thing as all the other tiers, which kind of sucks. So there's nothing exciting about it, just get a little bit more of that. So not the greatest, like fishing, just get left in the dust. I don't know if too many people are fishermen, but yeah, that's pretty much all you get. Next is furnishing. This is a pretty good one to go through. So the first tier, you get nothing, which kind of sucks. But once you start getting to the second tier, you get some really good stuff. So we start getting the stacked deck, which is very valuable for anyone who wants to make a luck trophy. And you get the dummy and the fluffy as well. And then you also get these other trophies. Tons of these other trophies. So if you guys were having a hard time buying them in the auction house or just hard time finding them, now you can kind of get it yourself. So that is really good. So that's only on the second tier. Now this is different. This is the third tier, but it totally changes what you get a little bit. So the first, this third tier only drops pretty much a lot of schematics and vial. So lots of schematics that you get, but the nice thing with these schematics is that you can get really good items, right? So things that actually sell for a lot. Like example, this golden chest, very, very valuable. So on my server, it sells for like a ton, but like there's also all of these other things that you could just farm. Like look at this. There's so much schematics for furnishing, man. Like it's a lot. Like holy cow. So you know what? If you guys wanted to decorate your home or sell these on the trading post, like by all means, you can make some pretty good coin doing that way. So I like that. Now, this I'm just going to quickly skim, because literally these only drop the same thing for every tier, but just a little bit more quantity. So that's pretty much it for the gathering, which makes sense because when you're gathering, you're not really getting tons of, like, you're not spending a lot. So same thing with the jewel crafting. You just get a little bit more quantities of all that stuff, and that's pretty much it. Just a little bit more quantity. And then the last tier, just more quantity. That's pretty much all you get. So there's that. And then now we go into leather. Going to be the same thing, just a little bit more quantity, tier 1 and then tier 2. So there, we just kind of be brief on that. I think the same thing for logging. Yeah, same thing for logging. There's that. I mean, it's free stuff, so like I'm not gonna complain. It's I don't mind getting some legendary items. Mining is going to be the same. Yeah, the same thing. So tier 1 and tier 2, same thing. So just a little bit more skinning. I'm just gonna skim through this. Just get a little bit more legend, get some legendaries and some crafting stuff as well. I'm just going to show the tier 2 quickly, and the same thing. And let's go to smelting. A little bit of a different thing. Whoops. A little bit different, but almost the same thing. Whoops, that's the stone cutting. Smelting, you literally get more quantity. That's it. Another tier 2, you get more quantity. Stone cutting, I think this one, yeah, stone cutting is it's going to stone cutting. So with stone cutting, you just basically get these gems. So you get the gems pretty much, and that's pretty much it that you'll get, because like honestly, you're just going to be stone cutting and making a little bit more. You do get a little bit more refined ingredients, and that's pretty much it. So that's for stone cutting. Now let's go into weaponsmithing. This is something pretty cool. So tier 1, you get the cooldowns, and then you also get the timeless shards. So you get quite a bit to choose from there. A little bit of stuff to choose from there. So you get some of those stuff. That's the tier 1. Now the tier 2, we get a little bit of this and some of those, and those again. And now the tier 3. The tier 3 is quite nice. You get all of your lovely patterns again. And yeah, for anyone who wants to start crafting some of these pretty good legendary items, like, yeah, it's really, really good. So, and then timeless shards again, and then the same crafting mods. So yeah, I really like how they're dealing with this stuff, and like adding some more stuff to, more patterns to basically get and to start creating. Wire is going to be the same for all the tiers, and same with wood cutting. So that pretty much wraps up for the whole aptitude thing. So what I really do recommend you guys to do is to start investing into these crafts, whichever one you want, and try to get those resources, try to do buy orders, and to try to get them for a cheap price. So that way, when the aptitude comes out, the patch for the winter festival, you guys are ready. And then what ends up happening is, like, boom, you can start crafting, like get the tier 3, you know, as quickly as you possibly can, because you already saved up all the mats for that. Because what's going to happen is that the pro players are going to see this, and they're going like, oh, I got to go get these now, because it's going to be for the patch, you know, and like everyone's going to buy all the stuff and raise up the price by a lot. And then everyone wants to go on board and buy all this, and there'll be a high supply and high demand. So and people want to buy it as much as they can, so they can level up and get these chests and get those legendaries, because there's some really good legendaries to be had, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't like there's like a lot of fun things to do with the crafting and stuff like that, and to get ready for this. So highly recommend to do that. I'll probably be making some videos on like what's going to be the cheapest way of crafting some of these. Like, especially cooking is super easy. It's so easy to level up cooking by, like, it's ridiculously easy. It's the easiest one. But for crafting and to get recipes, like, I want to be looking for recipes and schematics. So my focus is going to be cooking, armoring, arcana, and also furnishing. I think are going to be like one of the higher things for selling. Also, weaponsmithing is pretty good, but I'm not that high of a level yet for weaponsmithing because it costs quite a bit. But arcana, people still are playing like Void Gauntlet, and they still love Void Gauntlet. I think people want to. On my server, I think Void Gauntlets are still going for 1,000 to 10 to 20,000 right now, so it's going for a lot more. Like if I was to go on weapons, right now, like axe sells for nothing. The rapier sells for pretty much nothing. So I like to craft something that I have a chance of crafting something really high level for the Void Gauntlet, and then have a 600 gear score up on the trading post. So that's kind of like how I'm going to be doing things, for all that stuff. And furnishing is just hands down like a really good profession for making money because you can make trophies and all that stuff. So really, really good. So there's a lot of good things to go through, a lot of ways to make money, and a lot of ways to level up your professions, right? And this is the time to level up, and I think this will bring a lot of people back to crafting and gathering again. And yeah, this will be really, really cool. So always post more tips and tricks of how to make gold and make guides, and post them daily. So like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.